Welcome to the SkillsHub.life YouTube channel. I am Jennifer Hale. With me today, I'm so excited I'm doing this with someone, is Emma Sherr-Ziarko. Emma has an incredible career. Hi, Emma.
Hi, thank you so much for having
Oh,
me.
it's
I'm so excited to be here.
So good to have you. Emma is Minkowski in Wolf 359. She's Kate Pryde in Marvel Moves. She is the lead in a Ghostbusters VR game. Like what? And one of the things I really want to dig into today here is you've done a ton of regional and local and what we call sort of the non-jurisdictional work, which is just a vast array of just gold to be mined for people who want to make a living in VO. People come in and they get caught up at the shiny object stage, staring at the AAA games and the animated series on Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus and everywhere else. And they leave so much money on the table. But people don't know how to find that work, and that's why you're here.
Well, thank you. That's a very kind introduction. And I've worked in all sorts of weird stuff, and I love that. I've also I did some magazine narration, which was a weird gig, but was really fun and fulfilling. And so what I would say, I'll give some broad strokes of how I have found work. Obviously, there's agents both in the big markets and in regional markets, but that's not how the majority of people get their work now.
Really?
Really? Well,
tell me more.
I don't know that that's true for everyone, but it's certainly not true for me. I've got the agents. I get most of my auditions from my agents, but I find work, what I'll start out with is make sure to seek out the people that you want to work with. That has been the most important thing for me, and it doesn't matter if they're in the tiny town where you live with or where you live. I can speak. And if they're, in LA or London or Manchester, wherever they might be.
Okay. A question. Yeah. Just sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
When you say seek out the people you want to work with, you're talking about creating a network, creating relationships.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because I will say, I've found all sorts of weird work through different avenues and sites, and some of them were great, some of them were not so great, but what keeps me going through are the connections and relationships that I've built with people all over the world. So that's pretty cool. That's a little more abstract, and people probably want to hear more specifically where they can look.
Yeah, they have bills to pay.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have time to build your network. Yeah. No, you do. You will. But yes, so obviously there's places like pay-to-play sites, which are very controversial and I have mixed feelings about. But the fact is there is a lot of work on there. So if you haven't checked out places like Voices, Voice 123, Backstage, Mandy, Bodalgo, VoQuint or VoQuint, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. There's all sorts, and there's pros and cons to all of them, and I talk about those in my Where's the Work class on Skills Hub.
I love this class.
Me too. I love teaching this class, and it's always changing, so that's fun. There's pros and cons to all of those, so make sure you do your research about which one might fit.
Yeah, actually, I want to back up to that for a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were saying that finding those places to find work are always changing, so the class Where's the Work is always changing, which I think is really appropriate.
Yeah.
And I want to hear a little bit about what you're getting into in that class, just for people who might want to seek it out.
Absolutely. Well, in Where's the Work, we're talking about building your business foundation. It's setting yourself up for success, because I think a lot of people come into the voice acting industry thinking, oh, I want to be a voice actor, but I'm just an aspiring voice actor. It's like, no, come in believing that you are a professional, and once you get the acting training, treat yourself like a business from the get-go. And so that's what we're getting into with that. And it's about finding work and also protecting yourself, because you are your own agent in a lot of the work you'll find, especially at the beginning of your career. Yeah. You're going to have to advocate for yourself a lot.
Oof. Yeah, that's a daunting task.
Yeah.
That's so helpful. Thank you, Emma. So glad you're here.
Absolutely.
And everybody, you can find Emma at acting.skillshub.life. She is in our coach catalog, and she is phenomenal. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
See you on the site.